Greenland. Often called Antarctica's little cousin, the Greenland Triangle might just be the Arctic's most mysterious enigma, spanning a vast region linking Nuuk, Ilulissat, and Grønland. During World War II, hundreds of U.S. aircraft flew via the perilous Snowball route, which necessitated landing in Greenland to refuel and then take off again. About 10% of the planes crashed, and sometimes the planes sent out to rescue them crashed too, probably outpacing even the Bermuda Triangle's spooky reputation at the time. So what's the deal? Magnetic anomalies throwing compasses into a tizzy? Alien joyrides over the ice cap? A web of geopolitical secrets? Or is it just Greenland's brutal storms, treacherous fog, and an ice sheet that laughs at human ambition? Today, we're diving into why so many avoid calling Greenland home, and how this frozen, isolated wonderland even got on humanity's radar and became humanity's ultimate test of grit. Greenland's name, derived from the Old Norse Grænland, meaning Greenland, is a Viking marketing trick that's both ironic and fitting. Spanning 836,330 square miles, it's the world's largest island, bigger than Mexico or Saudi Arabia. To put that in perspective, Greenland could stretch from Florida to California if plopped over the U.S. And of its 27,394 miles of coastline, more than the entire U.S. mainland, most is locked in ice, an absolute fortress of frost. Greenland is as unknown to humans as the depths of the Atlantic. Despite covering 836,330 square miles, only 20% is ice-free, and human settlements dot just 0.1% of that, less than 83,600 acres. It's the Arctic's last great wilderness. If you explored 1 million acres a day, it'd still take nearly 3 years to see it all. But here's a mind-blower. Greenland's not just ice and rock, it's a geological vault. Beneath its ice sheet lies the Greenland Craton, one of Earth's oldest rock formations, dating back 3.8 billion years. That's older than most continents. Scientists say it holds clues to how our planet formed, making Greenland a time capsule for geologists. And get this, the ice hides gemstones like rubies and sapphires, sparkling in places like Apalutok. Ever wonder why global powers are eyeing Greenland? It's not just the ice, it's the treasure trove underneath. So, what's in Greenland if humans barely touch it? Ice, for starters. A colossal ice sheet blankets 80% of the island, 1.7 million square kilometers, enough to raise global sea levels by 23 feet if it melted. Below and between this ice lie jagged fjords, towering mountains like Gunnbjørn at 12,139 feet, and tundra, where only the toughest plants dare grow. Hold up, did you know this ice sheet is alive? It's not just frozen water, it's a dynamic beast, grinding rock, shaping valleys, and even hosting microbial ecosystems. Scientists found bacteria living in subglacial lakes, surviving in total darkness. Greenland's ice is a sci-fi world, hiding life where you'd least expect it. Greenland's not just ice, it's a land of water too. It's roughly 1,500 fjords carved through cliffs sharper than Norway's, and its rivers and lakes, fed by melting glaciers, span 10% of the ice-free land. The Ilulissat Icefjord alone churns out icebergs that could sink 1,000 Titanics. And speaking of ice, Greenland's ice sheet hides a 460-mile canyon, longer than the Grand Canyon, and fossil plants from 1 million years ago, perfectly preserved like nature's time capsule. The Ilulissat Icefjord isn't just pretty, it's a climate sentinel. Declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2004, it's one of the fastest-moving glaciers on Earth, dumping 35 cubic kilometers of ice annually into the sea. Scientists study it to predict global sea level rise. Imagine, the ice you see calving today could flood coastal cities tomorrow. Greenland's not just remote, it's shaping our planet's future. As for frozen wonders, 1,710,000 square miles of Greenland's surface is ice, housing 60 jewel-like lakes and 2 meteor craters, one 19 miles wide under Hiawatha Glacier. That's a cosmic punch even Thor would respect. Here's where it gets wild. The Hiawatha crater, discovered in 2018, might be younger than 12,800 years old, meaning it could have struck when humans were already roaming Earth. Some scientists think it triggered a mini ice age, the Younger Dryas, reshaping global climates. Greenland's not just a landmass, it's a cosmic crime scene with clues to Earth's wild past. Greenland's national parks, like Northeast Greenland National Park, are the world's largest, covering 375,000 square miles, bigger than Yellowstone, Yosemite, and the Grand Canyon combined. It's a playground for polar bears, not picnickers. Think you've seen wilderness? Think again. This park is so remote, it's only accessible by military aircraft or icebreaker ships. Home to musk oxen, Arctic foxes, and walruses, it's also a hotspot for climate research. Scientists camp here to study ice cores, drilling thousands of feet to unlock Earth's climate history. Greenland's park isn't just big, it's a time machine. With fjords, ice, and mountains defining Greenland's geography, its climate is, well, extreme. Temperatures in Quannock can plummet to -50 degrees Fahrenheit, -45 degrees Celsius, freezing your eyelashes shut. It's one of the Arctic's fiercest barriers to human life. You might think, okay, that's just winter, doesn't it warm up? Nope. Greenland's cold is a year-round tyrant. About 85% of its land sits on permafrost, ground frozen solid for millennia. Some surface thaws in summer, but that's where the trouble begins, as we'll see. Given this icy grip, Greenland's human population is tiny. Just 56,000 souls, less than a small city like Burlington, Vermont. But wildlife? That's another story. Greenland's waters teem with cod, halibut, and shrimp, feeding Europe's markets. And while polar bears are endangered elsewhere, Greenland has over 2,600, or one for every 21 people. Try explaining that to your mailman. Greenland's not just polar bears, it's a biodiversity hotspot. The seas host narwhals, the unicorns of the ocean, with tusks up to 10 feet long. On land, reindeer and Arctic hares dodge predators. The skies? Home to white-tailed eagles with wingspans up to 8 feet. But climate change is messing with this balance. Warming waters push fish north, starving seals and bears. Greenland's wildlife is a fragile empire, and humans are just guests. Greenland isn't just defined by its icy vastness or wildlife, it's the emptiness that hits you. The largest island on Earth, yet one of the least populated, with a density of 0.07 people per square mile. Compare that to Denmark's 348 people per square mile, and Greenland feels like another planet. Over 80% of Greenlanders live in urban areas, mostly Nuuk, Sisimiut, and Ilulissat. Nuuk, the capital, houses 19,600 people, barely a neighborhood in Copenhagen. Only 5 settlements have over 2,000 residents. Half of Greenland's population lives in these 3 towns, leaving the rest a ghostly wilderness. Nuuk might sound cozy, but it's a pressure cooker. Housing shortages mean 20-year wait lists for low-income apartments. A single-family home? Try $500,000 in a city where jobs are mostly in fishing or government. Young Greenlanders face a choice: stay in cramped Nuuk or leave for Denmark, draining the island's talent. Greenland's urban life is a tightrope walk, vibrant yet suffocating. If that sounds lonely, brace yourself. Greenland's isolation is next level. There are no roads connecting towns. Zero. You travel by boat, dog sled, or Air Greenland's helicopters and Dash 8 planes. Nuuk's the only capital you can't drive to. Greenland's road network is laughably small, just 93 miles total, less than Rhode Island's. Denmark, by contrast, has 46,000 miles. The US 8.4 million. Greenland's 0.001% of that makes it one of Earth's most inaccessible places. This isn't by choice. Permafrost, brutal weather, and a tiny population make road building a nightmare. As Greenlanders say, there are only 3 seasons: winter, breakup, and dog sled season. Permafrost isn't just frozen dirt, it's a saboteur. Covering 85% of Greenland, it thaws slightly in summer, turning solid ground into mush. Buildings tilt, roads crack, and construction costs skyrocket. A single road mile can cost $1 million due to imported materials and Arctic logistics. Greenland's land fights progress like a grumpy troll. Greenlanders rely on boats, planes, and sleds, even when blizzards make travel a gamble. Summer is for importing goods to survive winter when nature slams the door shut. Nuuk's harbor sees 500 daily boat trips in peak season, importing goods to survive winter. Tourists flock for the midnight sun, but winter slams the door shut. Greenland's remoteness isn't just local, it's global. It's closer to Arctic than to New York. A flight from Nuuk to Copenhagen takes 4 hours. Compare that to London to Istanbul. 3 hours 50 minutes across all of Europe. Here's a crazy fact. Some settlements, like Itakorturmait, get 2 shipments a year. That's it. Imagine waiting 6 months for toothpaste or flour. Ships battle ice and storms to deliver, and if they're late, villages ration supplies. Greenlanders plan like doomsday preppers, stockpiling for months of isolation. It's not just remote, it's survival mode. Greenland's sparse population today is wild when you consider its ancient history. Humans settled here 5,000 years ago, with Inuit ancestors arriving around 2,500 BC. Vikings, led by Eric the Red, landed in 985 AD, naming it Greenland to lure settlers. Their colonies thrived for 400 years before vanishing. Poof! Climate change? Famine? No one knows. Why did the Vikings disappear? New evidence points to a little ice age around 1300 AD, cooling Greenland's climate. Crops failed, trade with Europe dwindled, and Inuit hunters outcompeted them for resources. Imagine Vikings, tough as nails, humbled by Greenland's wrath. Their ruins, like Valsey Church, still stand, whispering tales of a lost colony. So why do so few live in Greenland now? And why have some, for millennia, called this icy rock home? As you'll soon find out, Greenland's remoteness might be its greatest strength, testing the resilience of anyone daring to stay. Let's rewind to how the first Greenlanders got here. Archaeologists believe humans crossed from Siberia via Canada around 2,500 BC, likely by boat along the Arctic coast. These Thule people hunted whales and seals, building a life in a frozen world. By 985 AD, Eric the Red, a banished Viking with a flair for PR, sailed from Iceland. His Greenland pitch worked, drawing Norse settlers who built stone churches and traded walrus ivory. But by the 1400s, they were gone, leaving only ruins and a mystery that haunts historians. Meanwhile, the Inuit thrived, mastering the Arctic with dog sleds and kayaks. Their tools, think harpoons carved from bone, were so clever they'd make modern engineers blush. Today, 90% of Greenlanders are Inuit or mixed Inuit-Danish, their culture alive in throat singing and storytelling. Why did the Inuit stay while others fled? The warming climate 5,000 years ago sparked a boom in marine life, offering rich hunting grounds. Greenland's fjords were a buffet of seals, whales, and fish. Insects from the Holocene show it was still brutally cold. But the Inuit adapted, unlike us soft modern folks. The Inuit didn't just survive, they innovated. Their igloos, built in hours, insulated better than modern homes, keeping families warm at -40 degrees Celsius. Their kamutik sleds, made of driftwood and bone, carried tons across ice. And their tupilak carvings, once spiritual charms, are now global art icons. The Inuit turned Greenland's harshness into a canvas for genius. Greenland's climate today ranges from 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees Celsius in summer, to -22 degrees Fahrenheit, -30 degrees Celsius in winter. In Nuuk, summer can hit 68 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Celsius, but Qaanaaq might drop to -58 degrees Fahrenheit, -50 degrees Celsius. These swings are unimaginable, but they come with perks. First, food storage. Greenland's cold is nature's freezer. Fish, whale, and reindeer can be preserved for months. The Inuit mastered this, hunting enough in summer to last the dark winter. Today, Greenland's fisheries supply 20% of Denmark's exports, from cod to shrimp. Locals feast on matak, whale blubber that's a delicacy, and swasat, a hearty seal soup. Then there's daylight. Greenland's summer brings 24-hour sunlight, with Qaanaaq basking in 3 months of endless day. Veggies grow massive, a 50-pound cabbage or a carrot like a baseball bat, thanks to the midnight sun. They're sweeter too, winning prizes at Nuuk's markets. But winter's polar night is brutal. Qaanaaq sees 2 months of total darkness. with only the Aurora Borealis, neon greens and purples, to light the sky. Locals throw festivals under these lights, dancing like the cold's just a minor inconvenience. The Aurora isn't just pretty, it's Greenland's soul. Inuit legends say it's spirits playing ball with a walrus skull. Science says it's solar particles hitting the atmosphere, but who cares? In Nuuk, families bundle up, sip hot tea, and watch the sky dance. It's a reminder, Greenland's harsh, but it's enchanted. The real danger isn't the cold, it's the unpredictability. Greenland's weather flips faster than a reality TV drama. Blizzards can trap you for days, like the 2023 Qaqortoq storm that stranded 200 people. And with no roads, you're on your own. Speaking of no roads, permafrost covers 85% of Greenland, making construction a joke. Buildings sink, roads crack, and shipping materials to the Arctic costs a fortune. That's why Greenland's infrastructure is sparse, and the cost of living is sky high. A loaf of bread can hit $5, and a flight from Nuuk to Ilulissat? Hundreds of bucks. Greenland's energy is another hurdle. Most towns rely on imported oil, costing a fortune. Nuuk's 100% hydropower is a green win, but remote villages burn diesel, polluting the Arctic. Renewable projects like wind farms face permafrost and high costs. Greenland's racing to go green, but nature's not making it easy. Greenland's economy leans on fishing, hunting, and tourism, with potential for mining rare earths like lithium. But the tiny population, 56,000, means low demand for goods, while importing them is a wallet killer. Migration has been slow since Viking days, and with climate change melting the ice, ghost towns like Ilulissat are grim reminders of fleeting booms. To grasp the challenge of building in Greenland, look at the Sisimiut Road project. The proposed gravel road connecting Kangerlussuaq to Sisimiut is an idea floated even back in the 1960s to link towns but stalled due to permafrost and costs. It took 60 years for them to begin to break ground for the 80 miles of road, costing $79 million. It's only due to completely open in the summer of 2025, and only for ATVs. Talk about living in the Ice Age. Greenland's ice is melting, exposing rare earths worth billions. Places like Kvanefjeld hold uranium and neodymium, key for tech and renewables. But mining risks polluting fjords, sparking debates between jobs and nature. Greenlanders want wealth, but not at their land's expense. It's a high-stakes gamble. Beyond nature, culture shapes Greenland's sparse population. Inuit traditions thrive, but European contact in the 1700s brought epidemics and violence, slashing the population from 10,000 to 6,000 by 1800. Danish rule began in 1814, and Greenland gained self-governance in 2009, but the scars linger. By 1814, Greenland had just 6,000 people, a density of 0.007 per square mile, or 143 square miles per person. Today's 0.07 per square mile is still desolate. Denmark's census in 1953 showed 23,000, and only after autonomy did numbers climb to 56,000. Education is a silent crisis. Remote schools lack qualified teachers and modern facilities. Kids in settlements often move to Nuuk for high school, splitting families. Higher education? That's in Denmark, 3,000 miles away. Many don't return, fueling brain drain. Greenland's youth are torn between roots and opportunity. Now let's talk geopolitics, because Greenland is the Arctic's ultimate chess piece. Smack between North America, Europe, and Russia, it's been a military hotspot since World War II. The U.S. built Thule Air Base in 1943, now a cornerstone of America's missile defense system. Why? Greenland's closer to Moscow than New York is to LA, perfect for keeping an eye on the Kremlin. During the Cold War in 1946, the U.S. offered Denmark $100 million to buy Greenland. Denmark said, "Nice try, but no." Fast forward to recent years, and Donald Trump's been vocal about snapping up Greenland, calling it a large real estate deal for America. Why the obsession? For the U.S., owning Greenland would be like holding the keys to the Arctic. It's a strategic goldmine. Thule Air Base could expand, bolstering defense against Russia and China. Plus, Greenland's melting ice is exposing rare earth minerals, lithium, uranium, you name it, crucial for tech and energy. Trump's pitch? Control those resources, dominate global markets, and keep rivals like China at bay. It's a bold move, but with Denmark firmly saying, not for sale, and Greenlanders eyeing independence, it's less a done deal and more a geopolitical soap opera that's got everyone talking. Enter China, investing in Greenland's mines and eyeing Arctic trade routes. The Polar Silk Road, a shipping lane through melting ice, could cut weeks off global trade. Greenland's caught in a tug-of-war, US, China, EU, and its own dreams of freedom. The Arctic's heating up, and Greenland's the prize. But it's not just missiles and minerals. Greenland's a treasure trove of rare earths. Think the stuff powering your phone and Tesla. As the ice melts, these become easier to mine, and global powers like China and the EU are circling like sharks. Meanwhile, Greenlanders push for independence from Denmark, wanting their land's wealth. It's a high-stakes drama, and the Arctic's watching. Greenland's history reads like a saga. Eric the Red's 985 AD colony traded with Europe, but vanished by 1450. The Inuit, here for 4,000 years, hunted with genius tools. Today, stars like Nuuk Coster-Waldau of Game of Thrones fame blend Inuit roots with global stardom, proving Greenland's cultural heft. The ice sheet is an environmental time bomb, melting 6 times faster than in the 1980s. If it goes, cities like Miami drown. Villages sink as permafrost thaws and hunting grounds vanish. Yet Greenlanders innovate, with Nuuk running on 100% hydropower. Isolation breeds struggles. Greenland's suicide rate, among the world's highest, hits young men hardest. Historical trauma from the 1960s relocations, when Inuit were forced into towns, lingers. Substance abuse is rampant and healthcare is sparse. One hospital serves all 56,000 people. Greenlanders fight on, but the scars run deep. So, why live here? Community. Greenlanders are family, sharing matak at feasts. The Aurora is a nightly show, and hiking a fjord, silence broken only by cracking ice, is pure magic. But it's tough. Tsunamis like 2017's Nuuk wave, and glacial outbursts like 2023's Mendenhall surge hit hard. Earthquakes, 150,000 from 2013 to 2018, shake the ground, and tsunamis can follow. Greenland sits on tectonic faults, and the 2000 Nuuk quake, magnitude 6.2, caused landslides. Liquefaction turns ground to jelly, wrecking homes. Survival means self-reliance. No cavalry's coming. Greenland's a paradox. Harsh yet bountiful, empty yet vibrant. It's where Inuit thrived, Vikings dreamed, and modern heroes like Nuuk shine. It asks, got what it takes? For those who do, it offers a life no Instagram filter can capture. Greenland's culture is roaring back. The Nuuk Nordic Culture Festival draws global artists, blending Inuit drumming with modern jazz. Young Greenlanders are reclaiming tattooing, once banned by Danish colonizers, with traditional patterns. This isn't just survival, it's a renaissance, proving Greenland's spirit is unbreakable. Thanks for joining this Arctic epic. If Greenland's secrets blew your mind, hit subscribe and ring that bell for more. Would you brave its wilds, or is it too extreme? Drop a comment, stay curious, and we'll see you next time on Earth Mapped Out.